Welcome to the Meydan Free Zone podcast, where we discuss those leaders that are transforming the business landscape across Dubai and the UAE. Today, we have the pleasure of talking with Salah, the CEO of Shapes Defined. With cutting-edge automation, robotic technology, and a portfolio that spans over 1 million photographs, Shapes Defined is revolutionizing how brands showcase their products online. Muna, it's so lovely to have you here. I'm really excited to get the conversation going.
Thank you, Maria, for having me. I'm really excited to be here also.
To get the conversation going, I wanted to discuss a little bit about the e-commerce landscape. I think over the past, let's say, 5 to 10 years, it really has been changing year on year. But with your expertise, what does, cutting edge photography and, cataloging of products really do to enhance e-commerce brands?
Without cutting edge images and videos, as well as the cataloging part, the conversion rate is usually less. There's a lot of competition right now out there, and people want to see the product as if it's right in front of them. And they also want to feel that the brand has actually spent time and money on getting these products out online. Okay, that's when they feel that they can trust the brand.
And I think as well, at the end of the day, that also influences a consumer's purchasing decision. When they see something, if it was on a random plastic hanger behind a random wall, there's no really any color editing or anything to make it look pretty. It just looks like a random shirt. But if you add different elements to it at the end of the day, then it's high quality or high end, high brand. I want that.
It's all about the branding, and the images are the number one branding strategy, I believe.
There's more and more people that have decided to enter the digitalized space. And one of them being, for example, with fashion or beauty products. Even now, a lot of food products have gone online, and even medical technologies. Why is it now that people may be struggling entering that market? There's an issue where I think with so much overcrowding online, it's very difficult to differentiate yourself amongst the masses. Why do you see that issues existing? And is it because of maybe poor product differentiation or poor branding or poor marketing? Where do you see the problem lies?
It starts with the number of team members, because usually with a startup, it's a small team, and they sometimes struggle with, branding guidelines, creating a consistent story all along their images, their content, their social media strategy. And these cause usually a negative effect when it comes to being able to be seen online. And it all goes back to conversion rate and how much you can sell, goes back to that. So I always advise is that the number one is to have a very strong branding guideline and storyline put together before you decide to shoot or to even start putting yourself out there on the social media platform.
Because at the end of the day as well, if you have a strong brand guideline, then you have that base to reflect. You can replicate that and tweak it every now and again. But so long as the base is there, then the brand consistency continues throughout.
Yes.
And I think when something is consistent, whether it's quality, appearance, feel, the different kind of feelings that it targets in an individual. If it's a consistent feeling of just happiness and you want that even more, or, a reliable product, then it also further enhances the trust. But I think the first thing that normally we get to look is with our senses. So eyes, if you can taste it, good. If you can see it, which is obviously the case with e-commerce, that is the first thing you need to target. There's nothing else that we can really target.
And also cost is based on cost, because also as a SME, usually we'd have less costs and you don't know where to spend it on. Is it UGC? Is it lifestyle images? Is it reels? Is it the e-commerce pictures? At the end of the day. So it's being able to, put together a good budget if you're going to go online, just to be able to put a presence out there as quickly as possible and create awareness, because that's the first phase, which is basically creating awareness.
And that brings me to, what does Shapes Defined do for the people that might not know about the brand, or for people that are interested to explore the service offering? What can Shapes Defined offer, especially when a company is trying to differentiate itself up on the competition that exists within the e-commerce, the industry there?
So when we started in 2017, that's why I founded Shapes Defined, is because content was expensive, very expensive. And, you need always on a monthly basis to renew your content, always be present. And this is when Shapes Defined came professional product photography pictures that, are really not easy to do. With the lighting, it's a scientific equation at the end of the day.
Yeah.
To make them look as realistic as possible. Okay. And also to be able to give them like packages in terms of UGCs, e-commerce product photography images, 360 videos. And then we also go along with them in terms of the journey. So we see how much did they sell, we check on them. And most of the products, the brands that we started with, we have around 400 brands that we started with. And we still have an 80% retention rate, and they've grown their business majorly.
But I find it interesting, and I think I value it a lot that you guys have KPIs or metrics at least put on what you produce for the brands. Because at the end of the day, it is about converting. There's no point in investing a certain amount of the money you're making in towards whether it's marketing, sales strategies, or branding. From that side, there's no point in doing all of that investment if it's not giving you something. You may as well then just take the picture with your phone and then do some mild edits, post it. Whether you get good return on that, it's up to, the effort that's been put. But if you're actually going to put a concerted effort to invest in high quality and a strong brand identity, a good imaging, at the end of the day, you need to see metrics return. You need to see that ROI. So it's great that you guys have those metrics in place and you follow up with the clients.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention though, for the people that might not know, is that in Saudi Arabia, you guys actually have a fully automated studio, if I'm not mistaken.
Here also.
Here as well?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the automation is mostly, it's not the lighting or it's not the photography itself. It's we called it Shooty, like Shooty Ana, which is basically, it streamlines the full product journey. So usually one of the things that happens is that it takes you up to 10 to 14 days to be able to take your product online, because there's, the product description, the editing, the back and forth.
Is this from when you start taking or cataloging something and then to actually release it on maybe the website? Okay.
Yes. So usually a lot of it is through WeTransfer, WhatsApp calls, emails. So what we did is that from the minute the product comes in until the product arrives online to the client, to the brand, to view it, is now within 48 hours.
Oh, that's incredible.
We reduced it around, I would say we reduced around 300% in terms of time to market, which is very important for a client, and the headache.
Yeah,
because usually there's a big headache of I don't like this, and then they have to screenshot it, put a circle or do a PowerPoint presentation. So now all the talents are connected into this platform, and then through this platform, the whole back and forth goes on.
And that's incredible, because I always have this point in most of our podcasts when I discuss it. Startups are so limited in terms of resources, and the biggest resource that anyone can really have besides money is time. You don't have the time to just waste around and hope that you're going to get high quality images or a service delivered, no matter what industry you are, no matter what service you're looking for. Time is of the essence. And if you're spending money, you want to make sure that time is used wisely and delivering high output stuff. So the fact that you guys can reduce it in about 48 hours, I think is incredibly impressive. And I've seen Shapes Defined work. I recommend all our audience to go check it out, because they're really, really good pictures or videos, different content that's created. It looks incredible.
So we will have our in-house photographers, but we also deal with a lot of different talents that are out there that we always recommend our clients for. And this is also coming into Shooty. So there's going to be also a talent portal, so they can also pick what type of photographer, UGCs, it's all about user generated content right now. It's about organic, so they also can go and talk to them and book them, send them a sweatshirt, take a picture out in Dubai Mall, you know what I mean? So it's just to generate for them affordable content that is also organic.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds very, very organic, in the sense that, you might be seeing someone walking around in Dubai Mall or somewhere else here, and they're wearing a branded product and you love how it looks on them. but maybe when you see it on a mannequin or online, you might not like how that looks. So to see real, and I say real, we're all real people, but to see real people actively wearing a product or using something that you see online, I think it's a different relationship to that product that you're viewing.
Yeah.
It makes you kind of actually feel, oh, I could pull that off, or I could wear that. So the fact that there's people that are going to be, promoting or using the products, and there's organic photos of that, I think gives a different edge to the kind of branding that some companies are looking for. All of these talks end up talking about efficiency, the reducing of time for delivery of the products, all the way to, seeing actually a nice return on the investment put it through the branding. And one of those things that I think may enhance efficiency, correct me if I'm wrong, is I heard you guys have robotic mannequins, or the ghost mannequins that assist within your shoots.
So, yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about that? Because when I learned about, I couldn't conceptualize it.
Yeah, so we have the robotic usually, because now everybody wants to go more into the 360 or to the VR, AR. So we have solutions that are robotic, where you actually can, have the model or product or ghost mannequin where it turns and it brings you out the pictures very quickly, removes the background and color corrected, and then ready to be online.
And with the addition of VR, for example, I know a couple, I don't know if they did it this year, but a couple of years ago, there was that, it's during COVID actually, they did those runway shows that were completely virtual reality, and they looked really cool. And I think that gave a different essence to those brands as well. You have these ancient haute couture kind of brands that decided to do a VR catwalk, and the product doesn't look the same in real life. Of course, they had some that were only virtual reality for avatars. But what does integrating businesses, especially, for example, fashion, platforms like virtual reality or digitalizing it in that kind of way, what does it do to a brand? Why would you recommend or tell people explore these avenues if you haven't?
I think these avenues are very still new to explore, and especially if you have a limited budget or you're cost conscious, because still it's VR and it's still CGIs and they're not the real product.
They're high investment, but I think they are like an interesting avenue to explore sometimes, especially for companies that are entering the VR space. If they don't have all the information or technology available immediately, then they should hire someone that can support them to get there and showcase the products there.
Yeah, or do a few campaigns there just to test it also, because you also need to see where your audience is, on which media platform. Like some people their audience is more on TikTok than they are on on Instagram, and maybe they are more on the VR. So it depends on also their audience as well.
But it's cool though that you have opportunities to enter those different avenues. I remember there was a time where everyone wanted to be on a hard copy magazine. But in reality, what travels faster? A trendy social media post, whether it's a TikTok or Instagram or something that you're going to buy at the shops, like a magazine. So I think it just depends on the kind of product, the kind of company, and not to be stuck just on the traditional methods of, advertising and promotion of your products. One of those things I think we've highlighted already is Shapes Defined does involve itself across different industries. Can you tell us how Shapes Defined adapts or customizes its approach for the different industries, with any examples you could share with us?
We leave it first for whatever they decided on in terms of their branding. So because they would usually have the branding guideline, and then we start advising based on what we saw in the last 7 years or the last was working for the client. So there's a level of data
analytics that goes involved before making the decision.
So if they tell us that they want only ghosts, or if they would rather do a model shoot or reels, we suggest for them to do model and reels, for example. If they can afford the three, we tell them ghost, model, and catwalk.
Start testing it. Just test.
For testing or for converting, we just based on the research and which industry they are in, we're able to give them what is the right solution for them.
And that, I'm assuming, is what ends up feeding Shapes Defined's decision on what would be the appropriate direction to take.
Yes.
Looking at the history of the company, the brand journey, the guidelines, of course, but just also potentially where they want to be in the next, year or 5 years, projecting what the best method to get to that point would be.
It's very important for us that the brand succeeds. It's, in the end of the day, it's our images that people are looking at. So we also want to make sure that if they look at this image 2 years from now, they still like the image. It's still trendy. So it's still perfect. So, and we want to see them succeed. Like we were a startup ourselves. We know all the headaches, and we in a year's time we keep on checking their websites. We tell them to fix things in their website also. If it's too slow, what to change, what to do, what kind of photo guidelines they should, try. It's nice to see them, succeed.
It's like a mutually beneficial relationship.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
But you mentioned websites, and with Shapes Define having a really extensive experience, with social media, websites, cataloging, what advice would you give any entrepreneur or existing and established company that wants to really maximize their potential as an e-commerce brand?
Like any business, I would say cost management, that's for sure. Spending it in the right places, making sure the structure is right before they go spend so much money on marketing. Because sometimes the structure is not right. They haven't tested things like from the images or the deliveries, all of that before they go really strong on marketing as well.
And I think one of the key things as well there is having a good, finding good partnerships as well. Finding good partners that if you can't do that or can't do every aspect, which unfortunately a lot of entrepreneurs, they get to a point, especially at the initial phase before they really start scaling. And as they start scaling, they think, I need to do everything. Oh my goodness, this person won't be able to do it right. Let me fix it for them. And so they end up stretching themselves out so thin, and they might not even have that much expertise in what they're trying to tackle.
Yes.
So why not? It's so important to find valued partners that can support them in their journey to success. And I think that brings me to the Meydan Free Zone partnership with Shapes Defined, and also Shapes Defined being such a valued partner for any of Meydan's clients and any client in the UAE. Because not only does Shapes Defined bring invaluable expertise from a branding and marketing perspective, but I think it also helps clients understand this talk, for example, the importance of getting the basics right.
Yeah.
You should not be investing millions and millions of dirhams or dollars or anything if you still don't understand your own brand, because the only person that can communicate it effectively are the people that run the business. You can get support from Shapes Defined, but if they don't know, then there's only so much anyone else could do. And I want to get your opinion. What do you hope that people that view this podcast today get out of using services like Shapes Define? If I came to you as a client, what are the goals that Shapes Define would want to see with this partnership and relationship with me?
It's just to make sure that it goes well, that you're proud of us for putting them through to us. That's first of all, and then definitely converting. Mm-hmm. Definitely see them doing well. That's the two points that I would mention.
And for clients that we have a lot of people that, have offices or branches around the world, they want to maybe use Shapes Define services remotely or from a different location outside the UAE. How does Shapes Define approach those kinds of clients?
So they can send us the products over through shipment, and through the platform they can view and see everything that's going on. We also do a lot of editing services for companies that are out. We have companies from France that are sending their products to us because, for example, in 360 we're very affordable. Again, because of the fact that we can deliver so quickly in a consistent manner, that's why our prices are affordable.
It doesn't have to take that much manpower to deliver a good quality product.
Or a human manual error. You also have the time is cost. Delivering in 7 days is very different than delivering in 48 hours.
Yeah, 100%.
And this is where we're able to manage our costs, which made our prices also super affordable for people that are outside or even in the country.
And also, I wanted to get insights from you from any success stories that you really found interesting or that you were really excited to see the company growing. Can you share any of those, stories from your side?
I can think of, it's sellers that are selling on Amazon. Within a month's time, we were able to deliver around 30,000 products for small sellers, products that are ready to be online for Amazon.
People, I think sometimes, at least from my perspective, because we're, within the podcast and I'm on social media and dealing with those things, I can see the effort it takes to record, for example, a bit of content, take photographs that are nice, trigger some positive or feeling within some person. But I think sometimes there are people that might not be in the background that underestimate the length of time it could take if not done efficiently. And I think Shapes Define has implemented a lot of technological tools that have enhanced and made the experience and delivery of the product efficiently. And you see that with your clients that come from overseas and also the ones within the UAE. So for anyone, especially, you know, when it comes to startups, SMEs, it is, like you said, time ends up being costly. So the fact that they can turn over the product delivery so quickly can make them just, you know, start selling today, which at the end of the day is what Meydan also wants to do. We want to get them operations ready. And with Shapes Define's partnership with us, I think it'll be incredibly beneficial for all of our clients that need, you know, anything to do with the websites, the social media content and product photography, all of those elements. So I'm really excited for the podcast.
Yeah, and also just not to also underestimate the human element.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the team that we've had have been with us since we've opened. We're a family. Everybody really cares about the brands, which is really nice. So it's not just like to deliver and that's it. It's not just me. So it's everyone in the company, and even the people that we vet to do UGCs and to do like the lifestyle images, and you know, also are a team that is superb.
Shapes Define has done a lot of effort to implement different elements, AI and VR. Why would you say that, you know, in your industry, it's so important to have those as options for clients? And why would that give, you know, a certain elevation to some clients that do decide to invest in these new technologies?
AI is still very new, and I'm really happy to see that it's not going to replace photography.
Yes.
Because you still
I don't like the AI photos, like the purely AI. I'm like, what is this?
Videos is doing well, but still people can see in their eye that this is not real.
Exactly.
You know, and it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna happen where it looks as real as if it's shot, you know, directly. So I'm, you know, in a way happy for that, because you know, I'm a pro-human, right? But the AI can quicken their work. So background removal. If you want to also put a product into like a scene of like you want it to be on the beach, or you want it to, so yes, you can use these elements, okay, as well as be able to do UGCs, which is also very a trendy thing to do right now.
And I think at the end of the day, what we have is a situation where automation and AI overall isn't meant to. I think some people think that you know, AI is going to take over the world, and yes, it is going to take over the world, but I don't think in a overcoming human needs. You know what I mean? More in the sense of as a supportive or a complementary role. And in the industry you're in, and I think also with e-commerce, you need AI and technological advancements for a lot of the systems that they're using.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're replacing the human element either. Because I mean, I can't be a server, but I need something to give me the service provider or the things like that.
So it fastens the process.
Exactly.
In
and enhances
editing,
efficiency.
Enhances efficiency as well. Can also give you very nice images that you can use on your social media, as long as it's not all AI generated, in my opinion.
And even, you know, when it comes to caption writing, you can immediately nowadays tell when ChatGPT is the caption or the person is the caption. But also what's nice
is that you can use it, and then you can have somebody to go and just, you know, manage
tweak it make it look more personalized.
Yeah, so it is cost saving for SMEs, I would say, and startups.
I wanted to get some advice from you though. If you could give me 3 mistakes that you've noticed when a company is entering the e-commerce space that you would tell them, be aware of these, avoid them, take action against them so that they can succeed in the future.
Not having a guideline, I would say.
Yeah.
So beware of, you know, going out there without a guideline, which is goes back to the branding, just because a lot of times they spend and they're spending on the wrong things. Second is cheap is expensive.
Yes.
Don't go for, you know, the cheapest just because if it's just cheapest. Whoever you go with, it really needs to represent the branding that you want to show.
And speak the same tone of voice that you want to project.
Yes, exactly. Because many clients come back to us saying that we shot it there, then we need to repeat the shoot because it just didn't work out. Third, I would say use all the different trends that are out there. Use a UGC, use the videos, test what works for you, do some lifestyle, work on your social media, test on all types of social media to see where your audience is the most.
GCC, for example, every different country that is part of the GCC has different preferred platforms. You have some areas that prefer Snapchat. You have areas that prefer Instagram or TikTok. So why invest a lot of money on Snapchat in an area that hardly uses it as much as they do Instagram?
Yeah, I would say to do your market research really well on where do you think your audience is, And last but not least is I always believe in pop-up shops. Try to be in pop-up shops so people can actually see your brand.
Touch it, feel the
Touch it,
materials.
feel it, remember it later on. It's also very good marketing.
The pop-up, I think, gives it another element because a lot of the times, for me personally, and I'm sure some of our audience members as well, when you see something online, the picture might look beautiful, but then you've had experiences that you've received something that looked great online, but then when you received it, it's like, what is this?
Yeah.
So having it realistically there, or feeling it, smelling it, engaging with the product or the people that are behind the product gives it a nice element of personalization and connection to the brand. What's next for Shapes Defined? If our audience is interested to explore your offerings or learn more about the brand, what can we look forward to in the next, year, now that the new year is coming and everything?
I would say we're focusing more now on the technology part. So the idea is that the automation that we created for our studio and, all the good results it gave us and the cost effectiveness that gave us, we want to roll it out to the other studios and have all these studios on our platform where customers or clients of Meydan can come to Shooty and be able to decide which studio to work with based on their category, their industry, and they'll be able to see real life if they deliver on time, how many, the feedback, how many approvals, how about it. So it's all very transparent. And we just want to grow this community of creatives and studios within Shooty for all the brands to be able to, have a better choice, not just through a word of mouth of referral, but to be able to go and, pick and choose using Shooty.
Entrepreneurs have to have a level of autonomy, if not complete autonomy, when making their decisions, when it comes to who they're going to work with. And I think that's why, for me personally, I'm very excited with this partnership, because not only is e-commerce consistently becoming more and more popular, more people are, deciding to shift completely their stores online. Some of them are even closing their local shops and putting them completely digital across the platforms. So to actually engage with brands such as Shapes Defined and also a lot of the startups and SMEs that are entering the Meydan space, I think it's really important, a collaborative effort, but also with that collaborative effort, working with partners that listen to you, deliver high quality product. And that's what Meydan tries to do. I know that's what Shapes Define is trying to do. And through many ways, in different elements, we're trying to just get the client's operations ready and delivering high quality, products, services, whatever they decided to enter with. So I'm very excited. I cannot wait to see where Shapes Defined takes our clients and also where it takes itself.
I love Meydan's strategy, which is the partnership and giving your clients or potential clients all the different services with better rates, It's a great initiative, Maria, and thank you so much for reaching out.
Oh, it was my pleasure. And to anyone from our audience, please, if you haven't already, please go check out Shapes Defined. We have a partnership now with them at Meydan Free Zone, and it is always to, just improve the client experience post-licensing and operations efficiency. Because we all know, especially as startup owners, entrepreneurs, the delays and issues that you might face when you don't have the support mechanisms behind you. Well, Mona, it was so lovely to have you here today. I'm very excited to see where the partnership goes and where the clients go with Shapes Defined services. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Maria. I really appreciate it too.
To our audience, thank you so much for joining me on the Meydan Free Zone podcast. I hope you gained invaluable insights from Muna and understood the importance of differentiating your product and having a strong brand guideline before you even enter the e-commerce landscape. I hope you join me next time, where we will continue to discuss the innovators and disruptors of Dubai and the UAE. Until next time, keep innovating with Meydan Free Zone.